everyone, welcome to our channel. So in this video I'll explain you the second problem of two-way Annova classification. In the before problem they have given the values in 3 rows and 3 columns. So the v1 value is both will get same, but here they have given 3 rows and 4 columns. So the v1 value will get different. So how we have to write the table value? By this we'll get to know. So the question is about, you are given the following data indicating the number of units produced per day by 3 different workers and 4 different types of machine. So the workers 1 to 3 and types of machine A, B, C, D. So here they have asked two questions. One is A, whether the mean productivity is the same for the 4 different machines. We have to find whether the mean productivity same or not. And second, we have to find whether the workers differ with the respective mean productivity. For workers also we have to find. So let us move to the solution. So the first, we have to set null hypothesis. Here they asked two questions, that is A and B. For both we have to frame the null hypothesis. So the first one, for the first, there is no significance different in the mean productivity due to 4 different machines. And for B, there is no significance difference between the mean productivity of the workers. So these two are the null hypothesis for the first step. So second step, we have to frame the data in the tabular form, that is table 1. As I told, we have to make a simplest form what they have given data here. So I take 40 as a number to subtract for all this observations, because 40 is near, which makes the given data smallest. So 44 minus 40, 41 minus 40, 48 minus 40, 41 minus 40, 48 minus 40, 44 minus 40, 50 minus 40, 45 minus 40, and 41 minus 40, 42 minus 40, 41 minus 40, and 41 minus 40. After subtraction, we'll get these answers: 4, 1, 8, 1, 8, 4, 10, 5, 1, 2, 1, 1. So after this we have to total both the side, as well as in row wise and as well as in columns wise. So columns wise 13, B 7, and C 9, 19, and D 7. So as same as for rows, that in first row 14, second row 27 after totaling this all, and third row 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1 will get 5. So both side we have to total, will get 46 as the grand total. So next step, we have to calculate sum of squares of data, that is table 2. Just we have to square up all these numbers and we have to write here in same column wise and the row wise. Again we have to total, we'll get these values. This side after the total we'll get these values. So again we have to total both the side, we have will get the value 294. So the fourth step, calculation of correction factor, that is CF. Correction factor is equals to T square divided by N. We have to take total of first table, this is 46. So 46 square divided by 12. Why 12 means we have 12 observation, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 observation we have. So we have to divide 46 square divided by 12 means we'll get 2116 divided by 12, we'll get CF as the 176.33 will get. So the fifth step is calculation of SSC, that is sum of squares of columns. So the formula for that is total of first column whole square divided by number of observation plus total of second column whole square divided by number of observation, plus we have 4 columns here, total of third column whole square divided by number of observation plus total of fourth column whole square divided by number of observation minus correction factor. So as I told, this is the columns A, B, C, D. We have to take these totals: 13, 7, 19, 7. Here I have taken 13, 7, 19, 7. We have to square this. After squaring we will get these values, that we have to divide by 3. Why means here 3 observations in the columns, 1, 2, 3. 3 observations in every column. So we are taking 3 as the number of observation. So after the calculation we'll get these answers. After getting these answers, we have to add all these answers and minus the correction factor, that is 176.33. We'll get SSC as 32.99. So next we have to calculate the sixth step is calculation of MSC. MSC is equals to SSC divided by, that is sum of squares of columns divided by degrees of freedom. So 32.99 divided by 4 minus 1. Why 4 means we have 4 columns. So because of that we are taking here 4. So 4 minus 1 is 3. So 32.99 divided by 3 means MSC is equals to 10.99 will get. That is mean squares of columns, mean sum of squares of columns. So next, seventh step is calculation of SSR. Same as we done in the column, but we are taking here rows value. That's it. So SSR is equals to total of first row. R means row. I have written in the short form, but while you are writing, you have to write in the full as row. So next, divided by number of observation plus total of second row divided by number of whole square, number of divided by number of observation plus total of third row whole square, should not forget this square, divided by number of observation minus correction factor. So here we have 3 rows, 1 2 3 workers. So this total, that is 14 27 5. This 3 total we have to take, that is, so I have written here, that is 14 27 5. We have to square this, 14 square, 27 square, 5 square divided by 4. As I told, we have 4 observations. See here, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So in every row we have 4 observations, so we have taken here 4. So SSC is equals to 196 divided by 7 plus 729 divided by 4 plus 25 divided by 4 minus 176.33. So after the calculation we'll get these answers. So after total of these numbers we'll get 237.5 minus, we have to minus correction factor. Sometimes we may forget, but we should be very careful while minusing correction factor. We may forget while doing the problem. So after calculation we'll get SSR, sum of squares of rows, will get as 61.17. So the next step is 8th step, calculation of MSR, that is mean sum of squares of rows, that is SSR. Before what we have calculated SSR value, we have to take that and divided by degrees of freedom, that is R minus 1. So SSR is equals to 61.17 divided by 3 minus 1. As I told, we have 3 rows here. Don't confuse, we have 3 rows, that is 1 2 3, that is 3 rows. So 3 minus 1 is 2, that will get answer as MSR as 30.185. So the next step is 9th step, that is the calculation of total sum of squares, that is SST. So in the SST is equals to grand total sum of squares minus correction factor. So grand total, this value, this is the main here, grand total sum of squares, here they have mentioned in the formula grand total. This is the formula we have to take in the second table. This is the grand total, 294. 294 is the grand total minus correction factor. We'll get SST value as the 117.67. So next, 10th step is calculation of residual value, that is SSE, sum of squares of errors, that is SSE is equals to SST. SST means before value. In the 9th step what we have calculated, that we have to take here minus and the SSC plus SSR. SSC means sum of squares of columns plus sum of squares of rows. Both value we have to take and add here. So after the substitution we'll get SSE as 23.51. So and this 11th step is calculation of the MSE. MSE means mean sum of squares of errors, that is SSE divided by C minus 1 into R minus 1. So we have 4 columns, that is 4 minus 1, and 3 rows, that is 3 minus 1. So SSE value is 23.51. So 4 minus 1 will get 3, and 3 minus 1 you will get 2, and 3 into 2 6, 23 divided by 51 is equals 23.51 divided by 6 is equals to 3.9183. This is the MSE value, that is mean sum of squares of errors. So and last step is 12th step, that is the calculation of F ratio, that is between the columns and between the rows. The mean sum of column value we have to take, and mean sum of squares of errors what we have calculated in the previous step, that we have to take here. So after the division both this, we will get the 2.8447 and F ratio for between the rows, as I told, mean sum of squares of rows, that value I have taken here, and MSE value I have taken here, and just after the division of this two, we'll get the answer F ratio as 7.8057. So here, how to find out the table value? So we have V1 is equals to 3, because here, well, calculation of MSC between the columns, we'll get degrees of freedom as 4 minus 1, that will get 3. So V1 I have taken here as 3 for the first, that is columns, that is machines. In the columns we have machines, and in the rows we have workers, and same as in the V1 is equals to 2, that is in degrees of freedom of rows, while calculating 3 minus 1 is equals to 2. So V2 will get both as same as 6, so V2 is common here. So this is from rows and this is from columns. By calculation, by taking V1 value and V2 value, we have to find out the critical value at the 5% level of significance, that is. So first we can take for column wise, that is V1 is equals to 3 and V2 is equals to 6. So here V1 is 3 and V2 is 6. V1 is 3 and V2 is 6. So this time 6 here, and V3 is both where it intersect, that is 4.76, we will get the answer. That is here I have written 4.76, and same as for rows, here the V1 is 2 and the V2 is 6. So same we have to see here. V2 this side we have to see columns wise, that is 6, and in the 2 both where they intersect, 5.14, that is the critical value at 5% level of significance is 5.14. We got the critical value for both columns as well as the rows. Columns where it indicates machine, and rows here indicates workers. So the conclusion here, the main they asked for two questions, right? We have to write for both conclusion. So the first we'll write for A. So the value computed F ratio between the columns is 2.8047. So what we have computed F ratio for the columns, that is for machines, that is we'll get F ratio is 2.8047. So the critical value what we have find it at V1 is equals to 3 and V2 is equals to 6 at 5% level of significance is 4.74. So comparing this, the calculated F ratio value is less than the critical value, hence null hypothesis is accepted. When there is critical the F ratio, when the F ratio is less than the critical value, so we'll accept the null hypothesis. So next we have to write the decision for that. So decision is, there is no significance difference in the productivity due to the 4 different machine. So when we accepted the null hypothesis, same the hypothesis what we have framed, that decision will write here. So next for the B, okay, so for the B we'll write, so the value computed F ratio between the rows. For rows what we have, rows means it's a workers, that is F ratio is 7.8057. So the critical value at V1 is equals to 2 and V2 is equals to 6 at 5% level of significance is 5.14. So the calculated F ratio value is higher here compared to the critical value and the F ratio. The what we calculate F ratio is higher, so null hypothesis is rejected. So in A we accepted because it is less, here it is higher F ratio, so because of this we are rejecting this. So null hypothesis is rejected. So decision what we have to write means, there is significance difference between the mean productivity of the workers. So next the last we have to present the Annova table. Just we have to write all the values what we have calculated. Sources of variation, that is between columns, means columns represent the machines, between workers represent the rows, and the residual value, sum of squares, that is SSE value have written here, SSR value have written here, SSE value have written here, degrees of freedom, that is C is equals to 1, that is 4 minus 1 is equals to 3, and R minus 1, that is 3 minus 1 is equals to 2, and C minus 1 and R minus 1, that is 4 minus 1 is 2 and R minus 1 is 4 minus 1 is 3 and r minus 1 is 2. 3 into 2 will get, see, this is 3 will get, and this is 2. 3 into 2 will get 6. Next, mean sum of squares. The MSC value you have written here, MSR value just you have to write here, and MSE value you have to write here. So the differential what you have calculated between the columns and between the rows, just we have to write here, and this is a dash. So this is the how we have to present the ANOVA table at last. So if you have any doubt in this problem, just you can ask me in the comment box, and if you want to give any suggestion to this video, you can give. And for more problems, just subscribe to our channel, and for the latest updates click on the bell button. So thank you.